Hi, Cathy.
Hi,
It's so
thank
nice
you.
to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me. It's nice to be under the sun and talk to you today.
Please tell us how it all started.
I am originally from the Philippines, and I moved to Denmark in 2015, actually like late 2015. But before moving to Denmark, I lived in China for 8 years in China. And while there in China, I met a Viking, a Danish guy who was very interesting, and we had a really nice talk. And then when he went back to Denmark, because he was there just for a business trip, then when he went back to Denmark, we continued communicating, and then he invited me here, and that was late 2015, and the rest was history because at some point we got married, and so that's why I'm here in Denmark.
Lovely. And how do you like to live here? What do you think about Aarhus and Denmark?
It is very, very different from China or from the Philippines. There's a lot of things that I have to like observe first and then react after, because first the language. Beginning, I didn't understand the language, of course, coming here, and have to observe and listen, and then at some point I get to understand how they think or how they react or how they talk to others. So I think that one of the biggest challenge, I think not just for me but for foreigners, is the language, and then all the other things, cultural things, simple things that that I have to adapt to, because when you go and live in a new country, it's natural to adapt. Fortunately, it's a wonderful, wonderful place to live in. I love that they take care of their environment, and they are continuously developing new ways to take care of the environment. And I love that people here are ready to help if you ask them. First you have to ask them, and then they would help you. And also I love that there is a wonderful foreign community, international community here in Aarhus, and actually this community is like family, second family to me, and to all the other internationals. So,
and you're also very active in this community because you are organizing LinkedIn Aarhus. How did it start and why you do this?
Very active, and I think that's one way to live or to thrive in Denmark, is to be active and proactive. I started LinkedIn Local Aarhus. The idea started in 2017. Before living in Aarhus, I lived in an area called Aarhus in Nordjylland. It's actually near Aalborg, 45 minutes away from Aalborg. And then when we moved to Aarhus, I was so excited because, I want to meet internationals, or I want to meet Danes and internationals. I want to meet people. And so I was like, okay, I went to a networking event. But it was difficult for me because people know each other, and like I go to a networking event and I was like, okay, I talk to someone, and then they talk to me, and after a while they meet up with their friends and then they talk and I'm alone. So I was like, okay, what should I do? And then I'm very active on LinkedIn, and I met up with this lady named Katrina, and we were like, okay, let's do LinkedIn Local Aarhus, because other parts of the world and other cities, they have LinkedIn Local, and so we okay, let's organize this. But it took a few months to organize, and then in February 2018 we launched the first LinkedIn Local Aarhus, and there were around 40 people, because there were also Danes that went, but it was successful, and then I decided, okay, I'll continue organizing this. So last year, 2018, I organized 4 events, and this year it's gonna be 6 events for LinkedIn Local. So I'm so excited because it keeps on growing, and I meet people, and it's so inspiring to hear from others and to learn from them, and that's the story of LinkedIn Local.
And is networking important in Denmark to get a job? What do you think?
It is very important, especially in Denmark, for foreigners like me, and also for Danes. And it is very important because they said that more than 60% of jobs are taken because of networking. So 60%, that's a high percentage. But I also noticed that people could be a bit awkward when they go to a networking. They don't know how to approach people. They don't know what to do. So networking is the key, but the right approach to networking, I think, is a better key for finding a job out there. You have to have a strategy, you have to know what to do, and also you have to be willing to try and approach people, because others, they are afraid. Maybe you try, and then that's gonna help you.
I also read the article that you posted on LinkedIn about asking people for meet for coffee.
Yeah.
How is it in Denmark? Why does it work, and what is the strategy for this meeting? Because you gave there a few good tips.
Yes, this is one thing I learned in Denmark, and I tell others. I'm very passionate about, like, ask people for coffee. And I've mentioned a while back that people would not help you. They don't know how to help you unless you ask them to help you. And especially here in Denmark, people are busy, they have their jobs, they have their family and work. Unless you approach them and ask them for help, then they would be able to know how to help you with. So coffee meetings is basically what they call a networking meeting, where you know someone who could help you in one area. For example, if I am looking for a photographer for my event, and then I looked at my people connected to me on LinkedIn, and then I would just okay, this person is passionate with photography, so I could set up a meeting with her, and then maybe ask her about photography. Or it could be like when you're looking for a job, and then you are eyeing this company. This company is wonderful. Let's just say, for example, Allah, and you wanted to work in Allah, so you find people who are working in Allah. Maybe you say, I'm an IT professional. Then you find someone who's an IT professional in Allah, and then you ask them for meeting. Of course, you have to tell them your agenda, why, and then ask them for coffee meeting. And when you're there with them, you have to be very specific. What questions are you going to ask? But also very respectful and mindful that they also have their story that they want to share with you. So also ask them about themselves. So a coffee meeting could be very, very good strategy for finding a job, because I say to people, when you meet them for coffee and they could see that you have the talent, that you have the potential, then they could become your eyes and ears out there. So when they find a position that could probably be helpful for you, or something that's for you, then they could tell you, oh, I know this position, maybe you would like to apply. Or if they have in their company a position that's for you, then they could tell you. So, but you have to have the right approach, and some people, they're afraid, or they don't want to try, but the way that you would become better at it is when you try and you approach people, you send them a message, and then set up for coffee meetings.